what about the second section, the interview? What are usually how is structured the interview? Let's start from this. I wanted to ask you what are the most frequent questions, but that's too much. How is it structured?
I think interview is easy, in my opinion. I know a lot of people will hate me for saying that. I think it's the easiest part. Why? Because if you're invited for the interview, the idea is that they already like what the opinion the school has about who you are as a person and what you bring to the class. The idea of the interview is to make sure that they are right. It's not to test you again. It's like, I have an idea of Lorenzo, who he is, what he brings to the class, and I have an idea. I want to see him in action because everything is on paper. But with this interaction, how you move, how you express yourself, how you communicate, I get a feeling of who you are, but also why you want to do things, what motivates you, short-term, long-term goals. Everything that they ask me in the interview, almost 80%, 75 to 80%, is what you cover when you apply, right? Because you have to do all that thing. So that's why when we are doing application with students, the least thing I'm worried about is interview, because we already prepare for that before the application. Yes, two things that a lot of people should do is start recording yourself, guys. Communication we think is just talking. It's not just talking. It's sharing how you feel with the other person. You need to transmit the emotions, which is, if you're excited about going to London Business School and you say, I'm very excited about London Business School. Come on. No, it should feel that you want, and this can be learned. That's the best part. It's not that you don't know it. So the key things in an interview are non-verbal communication. That's what you need to prepare. And of course, some situational questions, but with 3-4 days of practice and knowing yourself more, that is okay, right? How it's structured, mostly it's either by alumni or students. It depends on the school, basically, right? So some schools do it with the alumni, and they pick the alumni which are in sync with what you want to do or where you're coming from, so they can speak your language, they can connect with you, which is amazing. You see, they take pains to actually put you in touch with such alumni. And the other is where the admission committee takes the interview. And there is a subtle difference between the two cases, so you prepare accordingly. But at the end of the day, if you know yourself, if you have worked on your communication, if you can transmit what you want, why you want it, you don't need to worry about interview. No, absolutely not.
What I can see is that these top universities, from what you said, is that they really care about the class, which then will be the one, the class which is formed in terms of additional value and what you can bring to the class.
Absolutely. I want to use the word diversity, but I also know it's so abused. But the top schools, and we work a lot with the schools in terms of that. We organize webinars, we talk to them about admission process and everything. The insights that you get, like for example, tomorrow we'll be in Barcelona talking with EASA and ASADE. The reason we do it is, what are you looking for in the candidate is mostly the question we ask. And what I have realized after these years is they're not looking for something specific in a person. It is the values they bring to the class. They want clarity of thought. You should know why you want to do what you want to do. They are evaluating you on how you interact inside the classroom in terms of knowledge, experience, right? But also, how will you interact in the community, which is outside. A lot of times we forget that. So it's both inside the classroom and outside as an ambassador, right? So yeah, it's super important. It's super important to be well-rounded around these things.